What's up, y'all? I'm just coming to y'all with some real talk. This ain't even no episode, but listen, it's hard for us to decipher between the reality and fantasy. Sometimes we want this happy ever after ending, and it don't even happen like that. It's something that you have to work towards. See, we get it twisted, and sometimes we want the fantasy to be the reality, but the fantasy end up ruining our reality. Then that reality that we thought should have been a fantasy end up being a nightmare. And we get mad because of something that we created in our life because we thought the fantasy was better. Let me give you an example. Just even with your children. I'm going to use the children just for a second. The children sometimes, when they're staying with you, they don't know the reality of paying bills. They don't know the reality of, they might get the concept of light, gas, and water, but they're not thinking about health insurance, dental, vision, car insurance, things of that nature, house insurance, mortgage. They might not be aware of those things. They might say, oh, it's paid for, and my parents are doing this, they doing that, and I'm appreciative of it, but they don't know the reality. The fantasy part kicking their head is that, look, when I come in, the lights gonna come on. When I turn on the water gonna come on. When I go get something to eat, it's gonna be food in the refrigerator. All those things are in their mind that, look, this is how it's supposed to be. And right now, reality haven't hit that these are things that they have to pay for. These are things that your parents provide. This is a luxury that you have that a lot of people, a lot of children might not have that luxury of. And then they might go in their closet. They might got Jordans, or you can put any popular name brand, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, whatever they have off in their closet that they could just go grab it or they can just buy it. And it's like, hey, I got a computer, I got a cell phone, I got an iPad, I got a TV, I got everything I could possibly want, but they don't know that it comes at a price. So they're not living in the actual reality. They living in a place where this my fantasy because I can get what I want and it's gonna happen when I want it to happen, and I ain't gotta pay for it. And some of that is our fault. But sometimes a rude awakening have to come about for your child to even accept the fact of how good of a parent that you are to them. And we sometimes can mess up our children because we put them in a mindset that all of this just fall from the sky. People gonna always look out for you. People gonna always take care of you, and that's not the case. Because the reality out here is most of the time people don't care nothing about you. Most of the time people can care less about what you have going on. They don't care if your lights on, if your water on, whatever the case might be, they might not even care. I'm not saying that's it's a case by case scenario, but in general, people don't care. And our children sometimes get locked in that world, and once they get out here to reality, they realize, man, that's not how I thought it was gonna be. Oh, I gotta pay for my soap. I gotta buy a washer and dryer. I gotta buy my detergent to wash and dry my clothes. This don't come free? What? I gotta pay for my food now? All this stuff don't come free. Sometimes they shocked about them having to do these different things. But the reality of the situation is that sometimes we don't teach them what they need to be taught. And about time it's time to teach them what they need to be taught, they be so spoiled that they don't want to learn. They don't want to do it. And let me flip it on the other side too. Another harsh reality is that they don't get taught what to do. So when they get out here, they have to hit, oh man, I got to go back. And they realize that their parents didn't teach them anything, and teach them how to pay bills, and teach them the importance of keeping your credit score up. They teach you the importance of depriving yourself of certain things and saving your money than always enjoying yourself and then have to beg for what you need. They don't tell you that. And so the reality when they get out here is that certain things that I should have been taught, I didn't get taught. Now I'm mad about it because I was living in this fantasy the whole time, or I was thinking This how it should be. It should always be peaches and cream. I should always get what I want. I should get the job that I want. I shouldn't have to suffer. I shouldn't have to sacrifice. I should just get what I want when I want it. And it don't happen like that. Then they get out here in the real world and get a rude awakening thinking it's supposed to go that way and it don't. So who they come back to? Their parents. Mad at them, upset, some resentment might even be there because you didn't provide me what I needed to survive out here by myself. You know, it's some children out there. Parents went to prison. They ain't get protected by them coming up. They ain't get taught by them coming up. And then even the person getting out of prison want to have this fantasy that I just get back into the groove after so many years that you have lost. So many things that you haven't been there for, and you just expect them to just accept you for what you just expect them to accept whatever you have done with open arms. Come back, I'ma love you and treat you exactly like you've been there the whole time. It takes time, man. And let's go to another thing, man. Like, you know, even in relationships, and this is a big one, that everybody got this happily ever after in their head. Like the princess or the damsel in distress come, and this endless romantic relationship that happened throughout the whole relationship, and they just so in love, and every day he putting out flowers and running her bath water, and they just so in love with each other. All this excitement every day, right? But the reality is that if you have somebody that's consistent, somebody that's loving you, somebody that's doing what they're supposed to do, a lot of people are leaving consistent for excitement. A lot of people are leaving something that's consistent for excitement. Want the drama, want the up and down. They want that feeling to be pull this way, pull that way. Instead of somebody that's consistent on paying bills, somebody that's consistent on making sure that you good, make sure you're going to the doctor, make sure you're taking your medicine, make sure you're doing all that. I want the excitement. Don't come home. Come home late. I want my homegirls to say something about you, to be cheating. They want that excitement. They want that drama. They want the female coming to their job, showing out, busting windows out, or cutting tires, or whatever the case might be, starring drama on Instagram, just on social media, period. I want that drama, man. It ain't no drama. She don't love me if it's not no drama. He don't love me if it's not no drama. We want this fantasy that the industry have set up, especially movies and music. They have set up this happily ever after thing, and they tell you how the relationship should be. But they don't give you the realities of life. They sell you on something to mess up your life. See, they want to manufacture something that fits everybody, and that don't fit everybody. Your relationship with somebody else, each relationship within your life is different. You can't treat every relationship the same within your life. So when you looking at your relationship with your significant other, the person that you married to, the person that you love, yeah, your relationship gonna be different than your friends. Everybody want this cookie cutter relationship that say, I want excitement all the time. And right now, that's what's killing relationships, is that everybody want this, I want to be able to post. I want to be able to get the likes. I want people to say, what's it called? Couple goals. That everybody want to say that when you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Yeah, you see the trips. Yeah, you see the trips getting posted. You see the little sweet things that they do to each other getting posted. You see the little notes they might post. You see the different things that they post that's romantic, and you want that. But then on the other side, you don't see them arguing every day. You don't see them cussing each other out. You don't see the text messaging until they break up. Then all this stuff start to get posted. All the conversations, all the nasty texts, all the other side, the reality of the relationship that you don't see. But the only thing you see is the fantasy being posted, but the reality is never shown. See, people don't want to see the reality of situations. See, what they'll do, they'll take and they'll say, back in the day, that what grandma, grandpa, that's what they did back in the day. Grandma stayed at home. Granddaddy went out, made the money, controlled grandma, was possessive towards grandma, beat on grandma. That's the going conversation. But let me ask you this. So if you're saying in 80 or 90% of relationships that went on here in America that the man was abusive, that the man was controlling, that the man took and did whatever he wanted to do with the money, which I'm not saying it didn't happen, but if that is the majority of relationship that went on out here, that men having side kids and all this, why is it that some men that are married, none of the kids is his? If the mama was so perfect, why none of the kids was his? Answer me that. Drop that in the comments. See, now they don't have that conversation. See, they want to say the fantasy that they want to put, you want to put in your mind that granddaddy was this bad person. When grandma and granddaddy was in a relationship, both people did something. That's the reality. But the fantasy that people want to paint is that granddaddy was so bad. Yeah, granddaddy was so bad, but he put grandma up. Grandma got money now. Grandma got land. She got property. I'm not saying that always happens like that, but what about the men that did do good out there or attempted to be in a relationship when the reality of is some women out here are real nasty. Some women out here are real rude, and that didn't just start. It didn't just start. It got worse over time, but a lot of women are nasty. Just like you got nasty men, you got nasty women. Just like you got rude men, you got rude women out here. But you think that you are totally innocent, and that's the fantasy of the whole thing. The reality is that everybody got issues and problems that's going on. And just because your emotions can override your intelligence sometimes, and you say some things to hurt somebody, and then you want to get away with it saying is that your emotions. No. Let's keep it real. A lot of relationships are falling apart right now over fantasy. Guys might want a picture perfect woman. You might want this woman that had surgery, got a BBL, nice breasts, they got their breasts done, got their face done, and they got all this stuff done to them, right? So they get all this stuff done to them. That's your fantasy, man. The reality is that all of us gonna get older. Some things gonna start getting loose. Some things gonna start getting saggy. Gravity gonna start catching up. Stuff gonna start falling off. Your hair gonna start turning gray. That's just the reality of the situation. That's for both men and women. But what they want to sell us, stay young forever. Forever young. Only way you're going to be young forever unless you pass away at a young age. That's the only way you're going to stay youthful. But other than that, you're going to get older. Going to get gray. Things are not going to work the same. People are not going to look the same. Your body is going to change. You're going to go through different changes in life as you get older. That's the reality of the situation. But what they want to sell you is that you need to always look young. Matter of fact, you're always going to be in health. You're never going to get sick. You're never going to see, I'm going to tell you this. The fantasy is that people think you're going to always be healthy. You always think you're going to be in your best health. And see, when you got somebody there to look out for you, when you sick, when you down, when you lost your job, when you're going through depression, when you're going through all this, you got somebody by your side that's covering you, that's looking out for you, that's watching over you. That's the reality. That's what love look like. But the fantasy will say, after they did all this, oh, that ain't enough. That ain't enough. I need you to do now. Okay, I appreciate you doing this, but I got another laundry list of things that need to be done. But the whole time you was going through, they was still making sure that you was covered financially, spiritually, mentally. Because I'm gonna tell you this: when people going through, one of the partners gonna have to be somebody in the relationship. Gonna have to be the peace. Somebody in a relationship gonna have to keep it where you can have time to heal. You don't have to worry about things. You don't have to think about what this gonna happen, this gonna happen. Somebody has to be the peace that's in the relationship that keeps you grounded, that you be okay till you work through your things. And the reality is, after that person heal, oh well, now I want to get into fantasy because I think I'm better than this person. Yeah. Something people build up their confidence when something they done been with somebody, build up their confidence, then all of a sudden, here they go, I'm better than them. Let me talk to somebody else. Let me text somebody else. Let me catch somebody else on social media. Let me do this. Let me do that. And then, okay, let me leave because I'm better than this person now. Let me go. Let me go. Oh, I'm going to cheat on them because I'm better than them. I'm finna go. I got my degree now. I'm making this amount of money. Let me go. I done moved up. They staying the same. But you know what? The reality of it is that this person was consistent the whole time you working towards your degree. The whole time you working towards your degree, this person was consistent. But now, that job just boring. They just doing the same thing. But the whole time they was holding you down with this boring job, consistent and saving their money to make sure that you straight. So now that you done got right, I'm all that now. But the whole time you need their help to get there. That's the reality. That's the reality. People make me, I'm going to tell you, it makes me mad. It makes me mad to think that you didn't help this person build up. You didn't help this person do depression. You didn't help this person do all that. And they get to a point, they think they're more than you. Now I'm finna leave. Now I'm finna leave. And for men, it's worse because a woman can leave you and take half your stuff. Now you're on child support. You supporting more of what she doing. And the reality of the situation is that now I'm losing more because I did the right thing. That's what it seemed like. And I'm going to tell you this. Going through those situations, when somebody's living in a fantasy world, it's going to take a lot of prayer. It's going to take a lot of understanding within your end to just live within reality. Just live within reality. So when he said live in the world, but not of the world, I kind of understand that because living in the world is fantasy. You can live in the world, not have that mind to be in there, but you living in reality because you realize what this life thing is really about. Some people are so arrogant and up on their high horse that their money and their position got them blinded to the fact of the actual reality of things that's going on around them. Some people are so educated in their ways. I make a certain amount of money that I forget the reality that, guess what? Anytime I could lose all this. Anytime I got a house note just like everybody else. So if I miss a couple of payments, I'm going to lose my stuff too. That's the reality of the situation. It's millionaires that got bills and stuff that's stacking up. They more stressed out than some of the folks that's not making millions. Because they got more bills. Their bills are higher than yours. But the reality is that they make it look like this lifestyle is so appealing, but you still got to pay taxes. You still got your house insurance. You got to pay taxes on the money that you have. You got to protect it from predators. You got a lot of young men out here in the basketball making millions. They get pregnant. A girl get pregnant by them. Now they got to pay this child support. Yeah, it's good when you're getting the money. But when that money stopped flowing in and the reality kicked in is that I'm not getting those big checks no more. Nah, dang, now I gotta pay this big child support bill. You know? And sometimes we get so caught up in a lifestyle that I want everybody to see me ball. I want everybody to see me. I want all the clout. Some people, drinking not their problem, getting high not their problem, having sex not their problem. Not even that's not their problem. Clout is their problem. I want people to see me. I want people to know me. I want people to see me. I want people to know me. And that's messing you up because it got you living in a fantasy world. And the reality is people could care less. People could care less. So, man, that's just real quick. I I I might do a part two to this, but I just don't want y'all to get caught up in thinking that everything that glitters is not gold. Everything that beams light is not always the sun. Don't get tricked with monopoly money thinking that you can really buy real estate with it. The reality is you can only do it when you in the game. But out here in reality, out here where life is really going on, don't get caught up in that fantasy world because you're going to lose every time. I appreciate y'all just listen to me. All right? Peace.